the causes of Renaissance were like many. Like for example, some of them were like Crusades, I have mentioned here. See, Crusades, commercial prosperity, paper and printing press, capture of Constantinople by the Turks, and rise of Mongolian Empire. So I'll be explaining you. Okay, don't worry. So, if you don't know what crusade is, it is military expedition undertaken in Europe. The religion, a kind of like religious capture. You can say taking away the land in the name of religion. Okay, sending military expedition for that. Okay, so what happened was that the military expedition undertaken in Europe from the end of 11th to the end of 13th century to recover the Holy Land, Jerusalem, from the Muslim Seljuk Turks. Okay, I'm sorry if I mispronounce anything. Yeah, then they were called crusades. Okay, because of these crusades, what happened that the Christians in Europe, they came in contact with the enlightened people in East. Okay, so they were very prosperous, they flourished in East. Okay, so what happened that the contact happened between both of them, and they understood how enriched their civilizations are, and the contacts with the Greek and Indian civilizations, Arabs civilization, they came to know about them. Then the Crusades encouraged like voyages and the study of geography. European sailors on long voyages, and then the Crusaders, they met strange people, got new ideas from them. When they came back, the intellectual horizon of the Crusaders had broadened very much. Okay, they helped in ending European segregation. Okay, Aristotle's scientific book, Arabic numerals, algebra, Marinus' compass, and paper reached West Europe through the Crusades. Thus, Crusades played an important role in bringing from Renaissance. Okay, so it was basically the contact that happened from between Europeans and the Arabs and Eastern part. Okay, so they went and they understood about their culture and how enriched they were, and that's how the business class also started emerging. Okay, the second is commercial prosperity, which happened because of this. Okay, the Crusaders, they established business link with Eastern country, and now many European businessmen settled on the coast of Asia Minor and Jerusalem. Okay, as a result, there was tremendous increase in business, which fostered the spirit of Renaissance. The commercial prosperity shaped the Renaissance in four stages, which were the European businessmen. They came in contact with the new ideas and progressive elements when they traveled across the many countries in a connection with business. They came back to their country with new ideas. Second was that the development of business built in new cities. There was like these famous cities that were Venice, Milan, Florence, Angelborg, Newmanborg, which influenced the life of people, right? Because these were the cities that were situated around these were the coastal cities, you can say, and these were the cities which the businessmen started to settle, and they started giving patronage to these stuff. Okay, then European cities, they became center of intellectual trade and businessmen and tourists. Okay, intellectual trade and businessmen and tourists from different countries frequently visiting these cities. This facilitated the exchange of ideas and development of knowledge. The permissive atmosphere in these cities fostered the spirit of freedom of thoughts among people and made them skeptical. Okay, the third cause was the businessmen. They accumulated like enormous wealth with the expansion of business. The abundance of wealth, it created the newly rich businessmen a desire for learning. The bourgeois, or the people of business class, they picked up knowledge from libraries in Baghdad, Cairo, Cordova, etc. The businessmen in the cities, they became patron of arts and gave shelter to scholars who commenced the creation of extraordinary literature and researches in the field of science. And the fourth was the business class. They were critical. They criticized the church and they tried to reduce its importance. So, as you might see, these are the chain. Like when there's an authority, you start raising question, and these things happen in like step by step. Okay, like for example, something happened, and then Then the next step would be that the how business class they emerged and how they started giving patronage to the stuff, and they started giving importance to education. They started, and when they started becoming aware, they started questioning it, right? They started getting skeptic. Okay. The third reason was paper and printing press. Okay. The European they learned paper making from Arabs in Middle Age. In the mid 15th century, Johannes Gutenberg of Germany he invented a type machine, which may be called prototype of the modern printing press. The invention of printing press paved the way for intellectual growth. In 1477, Caxton he established a printing press in Britain. By and by, the printing press reached Italy, Germany, Spain, and France. The invention of paper and printing press resulted in revolutionary changes. Now books were printed in large number at relatively low cost. Okay. So the monopoly of distinctive person over knowledge it came to an end. With the dissemination of knowledge through books, superstitions and orthodox practices weakened and the self-confidence increased in person with its desire for literacy as well as drive for cultural awareness intensified. Okay, cultural awareness intensified. They became aware of their rights. The greatness of the man was revealed. European society followed the path of reason, parting with superstitions. Okay, so now what happened that you might know that the language in the churches they were like in Latin, so normally people would not connect to it. Okay, so now what happened that the printing press it bought a boost, you can say, because it started people started to get knowledge, right? Which was you might have heard saying monopoly. So only rich people can could have assessed that, or people who could have understood the language, right? But now what happened that the circulation started happening in the can say regional languages. So this started to help this helped in making people aware. Okay, that's how people started getting connected. And then the fourth cause was the capture of Constantinople by the Turk. In 1453, what happened that the Turk captured Constantinople, okay, the capital of East Roman Byzantine Empire. So, with it, the East Roman Empire it fell forever, and the consequence of it was great learning that spread in West Europe, heralded the arrival of new epoch. Now, what happened when the Turks captured Constantinople, the route that they used to use for trading purpose, it got captured, right? So now, what happened in Europe? They had a great demand for luxuries and spices from the east. Okay, so they started navigating, and the new business routes they were being you know navigated. So these new routes to India and East Indies. So thousands of you might know that from the route like from Cape of Good Hope towards India. Okay, so thousands of Greek scholars, philosophers, and artists migrated from Constantinople to Italy, France, Germany, and England in order to seek subsistence. These intellectuals took with them signs of ancient Rome and Greece, as well as as well as the new ways of thinking. So what happened when they captured that? These scholars who lived there, they started migrating. So with them, they took the manuscripts and ancient, although all the learnings that they took with them, they also helped people in enlightening, or can say it started people started thinking. Okay, new way of thinking. So the fifth cause was the rise of Mongolian Empire. The vast Mongolian Empire contributed to the birth of Renaissance. After the death of Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan he established a vast and powerful empire. Mongolian state council was graced and glorified by the Cardinal of Pope, the Buddhist monks of India, the craftsmen of Paris, Italy, and China, and the mathematicians and astrologers of India. In that period, Peking, Kabul, and Samarkand became international center. Therefore, East and West came to close contact, and Europeans they were greatly influenced by the exchange of views and learnings, as well as with close contact with the people of various countries. The famous traveler Marco Polo visited Kublai Khan's court in 1272. His travels stirred people for a long time. Okay, so these were some causes that helped, uh, Renaissance in taking birth. Okay,